how we do it.
Rock that.
And we are up. We are up and running. Let me get my Facebook comments up. YouTube's already ready to go.
Very cool.
And going live in 0 seconds. All right, Facebook, we're live. Here we go. And we are up. We are running. Let me put on my do not disturb so I don't hear any more of those beeps telling me that I'm live. All right. Mr. Sean Lee, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I am doing great as well. Can you guys hear us okay? Uh, I
Yes.
love, hey, hi, hey, I love, I see you out there. I see you, Victoria. Make sure you guys can hear us. Sean, can you say something just so they can make sure they
Man,
can
I'm
hear you
doing pretty
too?
good. I am coming back into the feed. I'm coming back into the feed. Somehow I got disconnected, but I'm back in here.
Yep, you are here. We hear you. We see you. All right. I hear you or see you. All right. Lana Hubbard from Texas is in the house. Carl Jones in the house. What's going on, everybody? So Gail says yes. That means she can hear us both. Victoria says yes on Facebook. That means we can hear us both. So that means we are ready to go. Yes, Terry in a suit. It happens like once a year. All right. So, Mr. Sean Lee, kick us off. What are we doing today? Wait, did we lose your audio? I hear something. Say something. Mr. Lee, I think we lost your audio. I can still see you moving. Hang on, let me send you a message real quick.
All right.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Yes, I actually lost my video, but I'm here, man. So rock that.
Yeah, we see you.
You see me? That's hey, that's
Yep.
all that matters, money.
All right. So tell us why are we here? Kick us off.
So, man, we are here for to talk about diversity, man, in the photography industry and the professional creative industry, and all of that stuff, man. I got a lot of voices coming into my mic, but we gonna power through it. Is that all right?
That's all right. We hear you fine.
All of that.
Uh oh, he's doing an audio switch. All right. So for those of you who are waiting, we're waiting for Mr. Lee to connect whatever audio source he's going to use. We're here to talk about diversity in photography. And it looks like he's putting the earpiece back on. I'm just going to narrate. Nope. You were fine before. No audio. Nothing. No bars. No nothing. No sound. All right. This is what happens when you go live sometimes. You have technical difficulty, especially when you're bringing in a remote guest. Um, no sound. All right, I'm gonna bump him off and bring him back on. That's worked in our testing. So let me do that. All right, we'll let him come back. You can sign for us, Rochelle. Thank you. All right, let's tell him to come back in. We have our mystery guest. The question mark is waiting. All right, as soon as he clicks back in, we can bring him back in. That usually fixes his audio. All right. And let's see. Oh, there it is. And we're adding him back in. There it is. Can you say something? Try it again. Nope. No audio. There you are. I can hear you now. All right, you're back. Rock that. Okay, we can hear you. Let's actually let me hang on. Let's put you back over there. All right, we can hear you and see you.
Rock that. Okay, and we're
Okay,
live.
we're live. So once again, kick us off. Sorry for the
All right,
technical
rock that.
difficulties.
Here we go. Here we go. Yes, technically, always, and we spent a half hour trying to get this together. Right? We were diligent. I want to let
We were
everybody out there know
diligent. We
that we were
tested.
diligent and
It's
still
always
right.
when you go live that's when it doesn't work.
Rock that. Technology is a beautiful thing when it works, right?
Yep.
So we are here to talk about diversity, and we want to talk about diversity in the creative arts and in the creative industry, and moving towards professionalism in the creative industry, right? And opening up doors for people of color. And that's just not, this is not a black thing or a white thing. This is an all nationality thing, right? And so I wanted to come on here, and one is important to me. I always say this to you, Terry White, but you are the reason, and I need all of your viewers to know this. You are the reason that I kept going in photography. And in my career, you know, there are times when you start out, there are hiccups, right? There are things that happen that, you know, I don't know if I should keep putting money behind this. Maybe this is not for me, or maybe I'm not good enough, right? Or maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And I tell people that you were the reason that I kept going, because I saw somebody performing at a high level who looked like me and who came from where I came from. And so it is important when we talk about people who want to do this as a career, right? Creative arts, photography, things like that. They want to do a career. It's important for them to see people who look like them. And so that's part of what we want to talk about today. And we want to also talk about the platform that has been established to kind of open up doors for those creatives of color that are phenomenal at what they do, but don't have a platform, right, to stand on. Is that cool?
That works. That works. Rock that. Continue.
Rock that. Okay, so and they can see it right up on the screen. It's the Rock That Photography Conference and Trade Show, and it's in Detroit this year, 2019, but July 25th through the 27th. So I just want to make mention of that.
I'm gonna pull you back, Sean. I'm gonna pull you back a couple steps. First of all, tell us, who are you? What is Rock That? Why do you say Rock That? What is the conference about? Then continue.
All right. So my name is Sean Lee. I am the CEO and president of the Multicultural Association of Professional Photographers. It is an affiliate of the Professional Photographers of America, or PPA for short. And the PPA is the largest trade organization in the world for photographers, with 33,000 members in 54 countries. And me, this guy from Detroit, is the head of diversity for that. We established MAP for one reason, and that is to encourage and to surround people with a community of people to help them further their career, right, in the creative arts and in photography. To tell a little bit about myself, I am a photographer. I'm a full-time photographer from Detroit, Michigan. I've been doing it for about 15 years, almost 16 years. Now, I started when the hair on my face was black. It is now gray. So I've been at it for a little bit. I always tell people that I think my greatest skill set is the skill set of people, although I think I'm a pretty good photographer, right? I absolutely love people, which is also why we do this work, right, that we do. I say rock that a whole heck of a lot. And so if I can give any background to me and who I am, before I became a photographer, I was a forklift truck driver. I worked in warehousing. I did logistics. And so I'm going to make this story as quick as I can. And so at Christmas time, back in the day, we had to unload 53-foot trailers, right? And the warehouse was a block long. It was literally a whole block long. And we had to take product off of trucks, and we had to run them on forklift trucks, high lows, to the other end of the warehouse. Now, in the industry that I was in, we had to unload sometimes 30, 53-foot trailers a day, sometimes 35. The rule was we could not leave until those trucks were unloaded. There were 18-hour days sometimes, right? There was no failure. Failure was not an option. And so we would get tired. We get cramps in our legs from mashing the gas pedal. And we had a guy stand at the halfway point in the warehouse, and he would yell, "Run that, baby, run that." We would take turns. Run that. We would keep each other encouraged until we got every single truck unloaded. We were back and forth in the warehouse, right? Run that became rock that, which turned into failure is not an option. So if anybody talks to me, right? If anybody says, "Sean, I have this impossible dream. I have this impossible thing that I want to do," my response to them will always be, "Rock that, baby. You can make this happen. Whatever you got to do, strategize it, but failure is not an option." And that's just how we live life. And so I've been saying this term "rock that" all my life, right? Through every shortcoming, through everything that I've ever gone through every hurdle that I faced, it's been rock that, money.
Now you all are hearing a story I had never heard. Like, I've known this man for years. I've never ever heard that story before. So yeah, I'm getting knowledge today.
See, that's
background
real talk.
And history.
The other part of that, and I'm gonna tell you, and this is real quick. The reason it went from run that, because you say run that a lot, to rock that, is as a kid, watching TV, that black and white television that I would watch. You would see punk rock concerts on stage, right? And at the end of the set, they would break the guitars on the stage. And as a poor black kid in Detroit, that was just something I never understood. Why would you break a perfectly good guitar on the stage? Money, that was brand new. What you breaking it for? They would break the guitar, jump in the mosh pit. And what I later in life found that what I understood from that is that they were sold out to it. Right? At the end of the day, money, we're gonna break the guitars on the stage. We're gonna jump in the mosh pit. We're gonna sell out to it, and we're giving it our all. We leaving it all on the stage. And for the next concert, we're just gonna have to buy new guitars. But as far as this one is concerned, we're not leaving nothing to chance, and we're going all out, not quitting. We breaking everything. And for me, that's life, right? If I'm gonna do it, money, we're gonna break the guitars on the stage. We're gonna jump in the mosh pit. And money, we gonna rock that. So that's what rock that means.
I still can't break a perfectly good working piece of equipment. Sorry, I can't do it. I can throw something that doesn't work, but I cannot take something that works. And
I might break an old lens.
Okay, there you go.
But not,
like an old lens
that's
never focused right. Yeah, that I can see.
Yeah. But take that symbolically. Don't break good equipment. Don't do that.
There's too many people that could use it.
Very cool.
Before we continue, some shout outs in the house. Mike, Jamie, Rachel, I Love, Tito, Shadia, MJ Doris, all on YouTube watching. I see Sylvia, Philip just joined, Victoria on YouTube, as well as I just saw him. Joseph is in the house as well. So some of your crew is already here. Carl Jones, welcome everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm here with Sean Lee. We're talking about diversity in photography. Sean just gave us a very interesting story about how he got started and where Rock That actually came from. Story I had not heard before. So now let's fast forward to tell us about the conference, why you're here, why you're doing what you're doing. I see you working all the time. I see you doing things that I'm like, how does he have time to do all that and still make money? So tell us about you, and you tell us about you, but tell us more about what we're here for today.
So, I recognize, and in coming up in my career, I hit my head on a bunch of walls, right? I hit them going 300 miles an hour, but the only reason I'm here is because there's a stick-to-itiveness, right, that I have. But with other people, right, they didn't have a covering, right? I go to conferences, and it's when you see people who look like you didn't see many of us, right? And then when you go to see people who speak on the stages, right, to learn from folk, great, unbelievable, amazing photographers out there, but not many who look like me, right? And that was the same thing that I was finding amongst different nationalities of people. They would go to these conferences, they were amazing, they were huge, but there was no representation, right? And you just feel good about wanting to see diversity, right? And so I started probably
I'm gonna
around,
stop you
go ahead.
right there. And diversity, for those of you who are watching, is, and you said it earlier, it's not just a black and white thing. It's
Right.
black, white, different races, different ages, male, female, gender neutral, whatever it is. That's all diversity. So we're not just two black guys talking about more black people in photography. It's diversity in general. And that's one thing I've appreciated that you've done with your conferences. If you look at the roster of influencers and people, it's
Yeah,
a mixture, of variety of all different ages, races, ethnicities, backgrounds, the whole 9 yards.
absolutely. It
All right,
is.
I'll try not to interrupt you again.
No. Actually, no, dude. You bring up good points. I talk so much that sometimes I skip over some of the information that is really important and that people need to understand. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I work really hard. We, as an organization of MAP, work really hard not to have one race or ethnicity of any type of person, right? We work really hard to put a great mix together. The reason being is that when you do that, you tend to erase the prejudices that are there, right? One of the things that we want to do, and that is a passion for me, is that we want to challenge and we want to engage the things that are difficult for us and the things that we're not used to, right? And the more you do that, the more you learn about people, and you can start to erase the things that tear you apart or separate you, right? And once you start to erase those, you'll find that we as a people have more in common than we think. And if we all help each other, it is the greatest thing that we could do. It not only helps us in the creative world and the creative industry. It's just that's who we happen to be, right? But when you have communities that start to come together and tear down barriers, you can actually start to fix real problems and bring real solution to issues, right? And cohabitate. And that's really what this is about. I said this yesterday, and I say this all the time, and I think that it's relevant here. Um, I have started this because I relish the day. I look forward to the day when a multicultural association of professional photographers is no longer needed. So I work very hard to get to the day that when we have eradicated prejudices and isms and all of those things, and that we are no longer relevant, right? I look forward to the day when we can disband organizations like we have because we've done our job. Rock that.
Rock that.
Money. They ain't ready for it. So listen, I want to take this opportunity and I want to talk about some of the people that have stood in the gap, right? And for a lot of folk, this may not be super ultra important, but for people like me, people of different nationalities, for me, it's you, right? Audrey Woolard, who has been in the professional photography industry for 17 years, right? Performing at a high level. We're talking about six-figure earners, right? Have put up with a lot of stuff. We're talking about people like Terrell Lloyd, who is the head photographer of the San Francisco 49ers, right? African-American man. We're talking about Matthew Jordan Smith, right? We talk about people like Hanson Fong, who are part of this, who've been 35 years in the game, who's an Asian. Man, you guys have kind of led the way and opened up the door. And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't consider being a professional photographer if you all hadn't stood there and done what you've done in the face of whatever ism that you faced, right? And so, first of all, I want to thank you all for that, right? And thank you for standing in the gap long enough for us to be able to come through and help do some lifting, if that makes sense, right? And so, with that being said, coming along with the Rock That Photography Conference, that if you want to do this and you want to really have a career and a go at it, we're here to create a platform for you to do that. And so The Rock That Photography Conference and Trade Show is a conference that has some of the best diverse talent on the planet, right? In one place in Detroit, 3 days of high level training at probably some of the lowest price point in the industry, right? And so we got all colors of folk, all mixes of folk, all cultures of folk, black, white, yellow, green, brown, orange, whatever you are, right?
Well,
We got you. And
let's
so
try not to have orange. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, keep going.
I'm, I'm gonna let that go because
We're just
yeah,
gonna
I
let that
got you.
go.
I
But
rock that.
anyway,
So we we got Hanson Fong, 40-year veteran, right? Master photographer. I think he's number 6 or 7 all time with merits earned at PPA, right? The seventh or sixth or seventh over 1,000 merits, right? Audrey Woolard, we got yourself, Jen Lewis, who is a phenomenal IPS in-person sales teacher, Jeff Rojas, who is a fashion photographer out of New York, Puerto Rican, right? We're gonna have an all women's panel. Oh my God. And I want to say hello and give a shout out to Victoria, who's in the feed. Rock that, Victoria. I've heard some of her story and to hear some of the stories of some of these women and what they've been through coming to this country and the prices that they've paid. We want to do a panel of women for creative women, right? And so that's going to take place at the Rock That Photography Conference and Trade Show. Robin Robinson, who is here in Detroit, is going to lead that. And we got Piper Carter and Jen Lewis and Tracy Page, but we got Kesha Lambert, Audrey, we got Karen Bethencourt, who will be a part of this panel. Victoria Pavlov will be a part of this panel. And this will be amazing. I don't know if anything like this has been done, but I know women have gone through great strides, right? I don't care what color they are. I've heard some amazing stories from women who have gone through some great strides to be where they are as professionals in this industry. And I think that story needs to be told and we need to hear it. And so that's going to happen at the conference. We are going to do live business training, live demos on stage from people like Hanson Fong, who is going to do stuff like posing. We are going to have motor coaches go downtown Detroit, and speakers are going to be leading photo walks downtown Detroit, right, which is really cool. We're going to have photo bays set up where we're going to have people like George Mitchell and folk like my boy Carl Jones, right, who are from Detroit, going to be doing product photography and vehicle photography and some amazing talent. Asian American, Jenny Risher, we got Mike South, and the list goes on and on and on, right, of some great diverse talent. And it really is about investment in people and making sure you have what you need and a community around you to be successful. Money, rock that. They ain't ready for it.
they're not ready.
They ain't ready for it. And I know I talk a lot, Terry. I mean, money.
That's why I had you on. I don't have to do anything. I just get you started, and then I can just back
yeah.
off and let the show go on.
So yeah, check it out. So we'll let you handle the Lightroom stuff and all the Photoshop stuff, right? And the selection tool, all of that, right? You know what I mean? All of the mask. We'll let you know what I mean. We'll let you do all of that because I don't know what I'm talking about when we get to that stuff. But
I will be there for post production.
And yes, Terry White is there speaking about post production and Adobe products. The other component about Rock That makes us, I think, very unique in our industry is that I wouldn't be here unless somebody invested in me, right? And so when I say that, people like you who have invested in me, people like you who I think are mentors, there are people along the way who have just invested in me. And real quick story, there was a lady in church when I first started, man, I bought this Toshiba digital camera. It was one of the first ones came out. It was $700. And I did an event at church and I was taking photos of people at church and printing them off on a printer. And the camera started to get hot and it wasn't taking pictures right because it wasn't built to do that. And I was printing pictures off and they just weren't good. It was just horrible, right? It was just not good. And this church lady, man, this lady from church, she had to buy about 15, 20 photos from me at $10, $15 each, right? And so I think from her alone, I had to make maybe almost $200, man, maybe 150, $200. And, back then, when we first started, or the early 2000s, um, for me, that was a big deal because I could have easily given up then. And so all along the way, there have been these moments where people invested in me that caused me to keep going and up my game and invest in myself and get better education and buy better equipment until I got to a point where I knew that this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And so investment in people is really important to me. And so when I see people at that stage, I always want to let them know, money, you can get this done and you can do this. And so as a part of our conference, we do social good, right? I really believe in people. I really believe in investment in people. And so Troy Schroeder is our director of outreach. And so last year, as we were doing photo walks downtown Detroit with motor coaches, we had a separate set of volunteers go to the neighborhood service organization, which serves the homeless population of Detroit. And we fed the homeless. We did catered breakfast and lunch for about 160 residents of the NSO
Wow.
Bell building, which is the homeless population. We did 200 care packs for the NSO's crisis center, right? And these are people who are coming in who are on drugs, right? They're going through, they just got kicked out of home. They're homeless. They don't know what's going to happen next. And we created care packs for them. Why? Because it's just important. It's just an important thing to do. We also partnered with Focus Hope, and we have kids that come to our conference, right? And so it's one of the reasons that we tell our speakers, really, we want you to watch your language, right? We don't want you cussing. We want you to, be mindful because we have middle school and high school kids as a part of our conference because there's no greater gift than to invest in our youth, right? It doesn't take much to inspire a kid to maybe become the next great entrepreneur, next great creative professional, right? They may be the next Terry White, that is the next design and photography evangelist for Adobe Systems, right? And so we have them come to our conference for free because it don't take much to invest in them and for them to be able to touch high level talent, right? And invest in them that way. That is the stuff that we do. It is extremely important to us that we do that. And that's what this is about. So not just diversity, not just black folk, white folk, not just photography training, but the investment in people is extremely important. I'm here because somebody invested in me. And so as a mission, as MAP and as Rock that is what we are going to do for as long as we are in existence.
I love it. Giving back. Rock that.
Rock it. Rock that.
So, Sean, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I know we run a little longer than we anticipated, but how do you stay motivated to wake up and do this every single day? Because I
Wow.
don't know a day that you don't do it. So, how do you
Wow.
stay motivated? You wake up in the morning, I'm sure there's some mornings like you just want to roll back over and just not continue this. I'm
Yes.
sure there are obstacles in people's everyday lives and jobs where they're just like, oh, I got to do this work today. I got to do this thing today. I got to do this meeting today that I don't want to do. You have that plus all the other things you're doing on top of that, where I'm sure it doesn't always run smoothly. It doesn't always go your way. It doesn't always turn out the way you hoped it would turn out. So, how do you stay motivated to deal with what you have to deal with on a day to day basis?
Such a great question. Thank you for asking, Terry. And understand that I still have to run my own business as well, right? I have a full time photography business, and I got to eat every day as well as all of this. And the single answer to that question is that my life is mission driven. That means that I eat, breathe, and live this every single moment of my life. It is what is in my heart to do, right? If it was something that I just did, or if it was an idea or just a strategy, there's no way that I could continue to do this. But what wakes me up every day is the fact that I have a mission to do. It is my life's calling. I have to invest in people, right? For as long as God tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. It is the reason that we go after high level talent. It's the reason that we try and present people with a high level experience. and then keep the cost very low is because this is about investment in people. Remember, Terry, we're a nonprofit organization. We do not exist to make money. We exist for one purpose, and that is to invest in the professional creative. That's it. So everything we do from morning to noon to night is to make sure we provide high level service so that somebody who really wants to do this can do this, and we provide them the best possible service and experience that we possibly can at the lowest price point. It is my calling in life. Money.
That is
Rock
awesome.
that.
So
Rock that.
now you talked about the conference, but you have another tour going on too. So tell us a little bit about the tour, because I don't want people thinking nothing's going to happen until July 25th. What about the 3-city tour you've got going on right now?
Rock that. Money. Look, they ain't even ready for this. They ain't ready for this. All right, check it out. So listen, we do have the conference in July. And I'm happy to say that Miller's is a title sponsor, and we got sponsors and speakers who come on board who absolutely believe in what we're doing, right? And so because we believe that diversity is just needed in other areas, this is a heavy lift, right? And so we decided we were going to go down south, right, and to introduce professionalism to in photography and creative arts to people down south. And so we started this Rock That photography tour. It's called the Color of Photography Tour. So we're going into Houston, we're going into New Orleans, Money, and we coming to Atlanta. That's where you at, right? And so for $99, all day training in each city, one full day of training in each city, bringing the pain, right? Some of the best of the best. Myself, Jen Lewis, Jeff Rojas, and local experts in the area are coming to these cities to offer training. We've been reaching out to local colleges, high schools, things of that nature to bring people on board so we can introduce them to professionalism in photography, start to grow this network of diversity, right? And that's what this is about. So May 7th.
Yeah, people want to go to the tour. It's rockthattour.com, right?
.com. Now, it's $99. But with Terry's code, Rock That Terry White 30, it'll give you $30 off that tour, makes it $69 all day training, right? So we're going from 9 to 5. There is a lunch in there, but we are covering the basis. So the tour is a microcosm, a very small microcosm of what to expect at the conference, right?
And the tour kicks off, what, name the dates?
May 7th. May 7th, so 2 weeks. May 7th will be in Houston, which is a Tuesday. May 14th, we are in New Orleans. And May 21st, you will see Terry White in Atlanta, Georgia, right? And what's really cool about that is that in every city, after the training is taking place and we end at 5, at 7 o'clock in each city, we are doing a network event, which is free for everyone, right? And so in Houston, we will be at Bill Freeman's studio. And we're inviting every photographer in the Houston area, in that local area, to come on out and have a blast. We're going to network. We'll have food. It'll be free. We're going to do the same thing in New Orleans, right? We're partnering with GNO Inc., which is really cool, the economic arm of New Orleans. And then in Atlanta, we are going to be at the Woodruff Arts Center on May 21st. And then afterwards, PPA headquarters will be open for our network event. Wow. That will take place there, right? And so PPA just redid their headquarters. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is stunning. And we will be there to network with every photographer in the Atlanta area. And that's what we're doing. We want to provide great value at a low price point, right? Remember also, Rock That Terry White at rockthatconference.com gives you $50 off. So it takes the conference from $199 to
for all the people that are always asking me, when are you going to do a local seminar, training, whatever, which I don't usually do, this is your chance. May 21st in Atlanta.
May 21st I will be in Atlanta.
I'm not one of the main speakers. They will be doing training all day, but I will be there doing my part, my small part, talking about post-production at that show. So if you're a photographer in the Atlanta area, don't say we didn't tell you. It's also on my website at terrywhite.com. You can go find
rockthattour.com.
Rockthattour.com is where you find out about the tour in May, and
Conference.com.
Rockthatconference.com is where you find out about the July event in Detroit.
The July conference. Now, I do want to say this to your speakers, Terry. The only way that we can continue to do this, to provide high level talent, and I want to let everybody know, the reason that we're able to do this is because speakers at the level of a Terry White believe in what we're doing, right, and have invested in us. And every speaker that is on the lineup, right, has invested greatly in us. It is the only way that we can provide this level of service, right, and quality of training at a low barrier of entry, right? And in order for us to be able to continue to do this, right, we need you all to participate, right? And so for 3 days of high level training at $150, you can't beat that with a stick, right? And get 3 days of training, get the opening reception from PPA, right? Which is food and live band, right? To get the things that 17 Hats and Fundy Software are going to provide as far as events go, to get our closing party, which is sponsored by Miller's Lab, right, with full food, DJ, the whole nine, right, over 3 days, to get photo walks on motor coaches, right, to have photo training bays. We are also test taking for CPP, right, before the Rock That conference. You can't get that at $150 anywhere else, but you can get that here. But the only way we can continue to do that is that we need you all support. We need you guys to show up in force, and we need you to learn and enjoy yourself and become a part of this community.
And for everybody watching this, even if you're not local to one of these cities, you know someone who is. So let them know about it so they can take advantage of it. They can go to the show. And if you just feel generous, just buy a ticket and give it to somebody. Give it to a student, give it to a kid, give it to your apprentice, give it to somebody who admires you. Let them go learn from these great speakers, these great teachers.
Let me also say this, and I'm going to put this out there, Terry, that we have on our sponsorship kit, we have social good sponsorship, right? So if there's anybody who is interested in sponsoring kids to come to the conference, college students to come to the conference, if it's not your thing, right, and you won't be able to go, but you got $150 to spare, or you got more than that for 10 students, right, that you want to spare, right, give me a call. Send us a message at info@welovephotographers.com, or give me a call. I'm going to put my phone number out there, 248-764-0600. We do have sponsorship opportunities for social good. This is strictly given to give back. All right? Rock that. I ain't ready for it.
All right. So if there's one thing you want people to take away from this, what is it? Besides going to the conference, what's the inspirational thing that you always do? Yeah, I'm sure you got a new one for us. What is it that people can walk away feeling good the rest of their day because Sean told them what?
Because Sean told them to invest in people, right? And invest in yourself. The greatest thing that you can do is don't stop. Money don't stop. Nobody said it would be perfect. Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said it would look good. And Terry, you know, we're in Rock That Nation, which is our group, and we got a Get Fit program that's going on, right? And it's just ugly sometimes. Sometimes you don't feel like waking up. You don't feel like doing it. You like, why am I here? Why am I out of bed? But the one thing we tell these people in our Get Fit group is just don't stop. Do it ugly. I don't care how ugly it look. Money, keep going. There is a scripture, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to let it go. It says that the race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but he that endureth to the end. And endureth has an ETH on it, which means that as long as you keep going, I promise you it will get easier. I promise you things will start to get better. And if you keep going, you'll find yourself in a better place than you were a day ago, a week ago, a year ago. Money. Don't stop. Keep going. And let's go get this.
All right. So with that said, you've been here live with myself, Terry White, and of course the one and only Sean Lee from the Multicultural Association of Professional Photographers from Rock That Photography Conference. Photographer, friend, and someone I admire and look up to, especially his photography skills are off the charts, especially with portraits. But this guy is amazing. That's the only reason I would bring him into the house for you guys to watch.
Wow.
So with
Love you,
that
Terry
said,
White.
we'll catch you on the next one. Go to, let me bring up the URLs again one more time. Go to either both actually. Go to rockthatconference.com for the 3-day conference in July. Go to rockthattour.com for the May tour, which is going through the South. And again, even if you can't go, this is your opportunity to give to someone who can go. So if you don't do anything but just tell them about it. But I prefer you buy a ticket, give it to a student, give it to someone who could benefit from it. All right, so with that said, thanks everybody for being here, and we will catch you on the next one. We'll have to do this again, Sean. All right.
I love you, man. Appreciate you.
Love you
Thank you,
too.
Terry White.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.